Welcome back to Data Cloud Now's live coverage of Snowflake Summit in San Francisco, the world's largest data and AI conference. I'm now joined by Sudhir Chaturvedi, President and Board Member of LTIMindtree, along with Andrew Curry, Manager of the Center Data Office at ExxonMobil. Gentlemen, great to have you on the program today.
Great to be here.
Great to be here, Ryan.
Sudhir, LTIMindtree recently released the State of the Generative AI Adoption Report. Can you share the key takeaways? And from your position as president, what's your primary focus over the coming months?
Sure. Thank you, Ryan. So, always a pleasure to be back at Snowflake Summit 2024 this year. I think the three main findings that we got from the Generative AI report that we commissioned, we had just over 400 senior, chief data officers respond to that survey, so very good sample size. Firstly, we found that 80% of our clients are doing something significant in generative AI. So this is not just in the hype curve and not just POCs, but looking to actually do significant deployments of enterprise AI and generative AI. That was the main finding. The two areas that they're most focused on is customer experience and productivity. What can we do to improve individual productivity within the organization? That obviously has some efficiency benefits, but I think it's looking to do more with less or more with what we have today, with a clear sentiment. And the third thing was that the concerns around AI are also very significant. So 3 out of 4 of our clients will, still feel that there is work to be done from an ethical data trust perspective or data quality perspective, and frankly even a cost perspective now, because we charge these large language models charge you based on tokens, and you need to be careful about how you essentially budget for these and spend money. So those are the 3 main findings that came out. And for us, from a where we are focused on, I think the first thing is, Snowflake has been one of our biggest partnerships in the data space, and it is now one of our biggest partnerships in the AI space. So very, happy to see the AI Data Cloud coming through. We were one of the first companies to launch a Polar Sled with Arctic, which is Polar Sled is now a GenAI. So it's a migration tool, should help to, migrate workloads much faster. The other area that we're looking at with, in partnership with Snowflake, is to see how we drive more consumption, industry-level consumption. So we're using our industry expertise to drive consumption, because that's ultimately the industry use cases, some of the work that we're doing with Andrew and team. And this is, I think that's a clear focus of ours to bring higher consumption. And the last thing that I would add is that we have, if you look at the partnership ecosystem that we have along with, so I'll pick up NVIDIA as an example. So we did a tripartite meeting with NVIDIA, LTIMindtree, and Snowflake together, looking to see how we can provide joint solutions to our clients. So multifaceted approach, in terms of how we address some of the requirements that our clients are talking about. But Snowflake is right at the center of it.
Thank you, Sudhir. Very much the power of the broader AI Data Cloud ecosystem. Great to be joined with your customer at ExxonMobil. Andrew, at Exxon, you believe the need for energy is universal. What's the data showing you?
Yeah, I think the data is showing us there's a lot of possibilities and there's a lot of potential. We're taking a very careful, I'll say, centralization strategy. We're trying to bring more data together in a single place and really to leverage the full corporate scale of ExxonMobil. We're a Fortune 5 company, we're large, and we want to make sure we're not doing small bets. We want to say, what are those big opportunities? And to have those big opportunities, you have to start bringing more and more of that data together, break down those data silos. So our AI strategy is highly centered around our data strategy as well. You can't have an AI strategy without that data strategy as well. So really working with Snowflake as one of those central pieces of our data ecosystem to bring that data together. Maybe data used to be broken down by business divisions, now all comes together, all sits in one place. And now you can start saying, how do I run a global supply chain for ExxonMobil in a way that we've never done before? Would be just one example. It's kind of the business opportunities we're untapping by having that centralization strategy and bringing that data together.
Great to hear very much that holistic approach. Sudhir, I want to pivot back to LTIMindtree with a purpose to unleash possibilities. How is the team innovating to put your clients one step ahead of the competition?
Yeah, I think the great thing about the conversations we're having right now is I do believe AI is, after the internet, the most transformative technology that we have seen in terms of large-scale deployment. And I think clients now, both businesses and IT, are looking at three areas in our experience. First is they're looking at how we can generate more revenue with existing assets. So a lot of our clients are looking at monetizing their data assets. In fact, I met a few here who want to launch their own data products as well. I think that's an excellent idea, and we're here to support. So revenue generation with what's already there. The second is, we've talked about productivity is an important part. One of the things that we've seen with productivity is just the simple fact of information summarization, right? Some of the use cases that we're seeing there leads to a jump in productivity. We 700 clients, we do legal contracts and SOWs all the time. We have a large legal team, and they're using GenAI very effectively to summarize this. In fact, even summarizing the edits on a document, things like that. They're just great productivity improvement areas. And we're working with Snowflake Document AI on that. So, as you know, we're an internal Snowflake shop as well. The third area is experience. I think a lot of work being done around customer experience. Some of the examples of the contact center work that I've seen, our vision is that the next time anybody calls a contact center, they directly talk to a human without going through IVR, because that's the level of efficiency or the speed at which GenAI can help an agent solve issues. But we think we strongly believe that that human connection is very important in the customer experience world, and we can enable that to happen. That will be great. And last but not the least, our own product suite, Phosphor, which is on Snowflake now. We're launching, it's called a Data to Decision Suite, and it's really helping. We've launched about 30 AI use cases along with Snowflake on that. So we're looking to see how we deploy them so that it speeds up our clients' journey towards monetize, either revenue increase or productivity improvement or experience improvement. But these are the areas that we're laser focused on. And I think we have a good mantra inside. We believe that AI will disrupt everything that we do, and we'd rather be leaders in terms of creating that disruption for ourselves as well. It doesn't matter if it cannibalizes some of our revenue. It's a welcome thing. But we are very clear that it's AI for everyone and AI by everyone. And that's how we're going to take it forward.
I love that mantra, Sudhir. Shifting back to Exxon, dates over 140 years. How is your data foundation really preparing the business for the next century, Andrew?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. When we build this data foundation, our view of the future is first you build data products, and think of those as reusable components of data that can serve both applications and analytics. And so we think that operational plane and analytical plane can be served by the same source data, the same data that we curate once. So you get this drive of reuse of data consistent across your analytics and your applications, and suddenly you get this data gravity, this momentum where people say, I have to use this data. It's the same data you're doing financial close with, the same data the trading's using for their analytics. I want to use that data too. I trust that data. I need to be consistent across this corporation. It means we're going to be faster. It's going to be, again, we're going to get that corporate scale we've been really looking for and making sure we're fully leveraged. But it also means the importance of data becomes very critical. So understanding what is the data quality of this data. Right. Is it trustworthy to make these decisions? Do you want to do predictive analytics and predict something in the future based on this data? Well, you really need to understand that. Where did that data come from? What's the quality of the data? Those types of things really means we actually need even more partnership with our internal business. Who are the subject matter experts? Can we trust this data? What are the business rules associated with this? So there's a real drive on getting your data ready. AI is coming, GenAI is coming. Make sure that data is ready to go to take full advantage of it.
Need that top-down approach.
Absolutely.
Such a pleasure having you back on the program. Before we wrap, any advice you'd like to share with the audience as they embark on their own data transformation journey? Sudhir, if you'd like to start.
I think data as a strategic asset is now well understood by everybody, and I think I'll just underscore some of the points that Andrew was just making. That I think creating the strongest possible data foundation is still the most critical step to take. All GenAI requires is that strong data foundation. So you need a strong data foundation, strong GenAI foundation, and I think that time and energy spent on that is very well spent. The other thing I would say is that AI skilling. I think it's extremely important. We've trained just over 40,000 people already on AI. We made these training materials available to all our clients as well. We're very happy to train as many people as possible out there, because I think the more skills that we build, the more use we will find, and we'll build on those foundations that we've built.
Great to hear, Sudhir. And Andrew, from your perspective.
No, I would actually fully agree with that. I think data literacy and AI literacy is becoming critically important, and I think the business is starting to pick up that language, and sometimes the danger is they're using the language improperly, and you can get confusion and different things. So starting to upskill your organization where they can understand what we're talking about with data, and also upskilling our data organizations so they understand the business, and that kind of bringing that together to make things work is critically important. So I think there's a real onus on us as a central data office to make sure that data literacy, that AI literacy is growing throughout the corporation. So a real critical key for our success.
Great to hear, gentlemen. Thank you so much. Great to have Exxon and LTIMindtree on Data Cloud Now. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And for the audience watching, I'm Ryan Green, and this is Data Cloud Now.